250 miles is becoming the baseline when it comes to EVs. So I think the market, that's looking for an EV that's less than 250 miles, it's going to be shrinking more and more every year. So I think the sooner you can upgrade it from a car that has less than 250 miles, the better. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Chima, one half of the Asika Bros. So Tesla. If you subscribe to the channel or follow @Asika Bros on Instagram, you know that I recently purchased the Tesla Model Y. Now, Bina and I, we both love Tesla. We both drive Teslas, we have Tesla stocks, and generally, we kind of like what the company produces and what it stands for. If you're watching this video, it's possible that you've either purchased a Tesla or you're thinking of getting one in the future, or you're just generally interested in the space. So today, I'm going to give you my thoughts on the Tesla Model 3 and why I sold mine to get the Model Y. Let's begin. So, a bit of background. Before purchasing the Tesla, I actually drove a 2011 Hyundai Sonata Hybrid, used of course, and actually loved that car. It was good in terms of fuel economy, it was great on gas. It got me from point A to B without any issues for the most part. It was by no means a smart car, but it had basic technology that, prevented the car from feeling old, like, Bluetooth, big deal, Bluetooth, yep. Thumbs up if you like Bluetooth. So I ended up upgrading from the Sonata Hybrid after some complications with the engine, specifically engine knocking. And what I upgraded to was a Tesla Model 3, which I received delivery on June 20th, 2019. I can't forget that date because it was actually the same day I closed on my first home, which is where we're recording right now. By the way, you shouldn't buy a car when you're looking to close on a house. In my situation, I was kind of pushed to do this because, my car literally broke down and I was looking to close, so I didn't really have that much of a choice. But I navigated the correct way, so if you kind of want to know how I managed to do that without causing any issues in the underwriting process or during closing, leave a comment and I'll explain what happened there. Now, my Tesla that I purchased in 2019 was a red standard range plus Model 3. So what the standard range came with was 240 miles. It was actually a little bit less when I bought it. It ended up being 240 miles after a software update, which is interesting. But yeah, it came with the standard partial premium package. What that meant was it came with most of the premium features, but it was missing, just a little bit of things that you could actually pay for later on the app. Like they made an example of I had heated front seats, but didn't have heated rear seats. And if I wanted the heated rear seats, I had to pay $300 just to enable that. Another weird quirk of the standard range plus partial premium interior was that I didn't have floor mats. That was another weird thing that I noted when I got delivery of the car, and something that was a welcome when I picked up my Model Y. Came with floor mats. Also, my Model 3 included autopilot, which, I didn't opt for the full self-driving option because I honestly don't think it's worth it at its price point, even back then, but especially now where it's like $10,000. And there's actually rumors of it growing to $12,000, so look out for that. Just a quick note on full self-driving, comparing it to autopilot. Tesla's always increasing the price of full self-driving. I remember in 2018, it used to cost $3,000 if you purchased it while you were designing the vehicle, and it was $4,000 if you tried to install it after configuration. And then in 2019, they kind of cut the price and it was like $2,000, and a lot of people were upset because they bought it at the original price before, and then they kind of changed it up again. They made autopilot a standard feature, then they made full self-driving $5,000, then it became $6,000, and then $8,000, which is, again, I wasn't paying for that at $8,000, and now it's $10,000, and it may go to $12,000. Who knows what's going to happen with that? Well, the rumors actually have that Tesla may be offering an enhanced autopilot option at $4,000, but I've gone, far too long about full self-driving. If you want a dedicated video on just full self-driving, why I think it's probably a bad investment, leave a comment and I'll explain why. Altogether, my configuration was a little over $40,000. Now, one of the major reasons why I upgraded was range. See, in the standard range plus that I had for the Model 3, it came with 240 miles, which was great for me at the time. I had a short commute to work. It was about 5 minutes, very long. And I didn't really do much driving in 2020 but then again, I don't think anybody did much driving in 2020 anyway. When I drove the Model 3, I never actually had to worry about range anxiety because I charged at home for the most part, and I charged to around 80% most of the time. And I kind of woke up to about 200 miles anytime I got into the car. Now, the days that I knew I had a long road trip, I just made sure to charge the car to 100%, and then that meant that I had 240 miles of range to use for that day. Now, the reason why I'm mentioning this is because the future of EVs is going to be incumbent on range, charging speeds, but range especially. And I think the 250 mile range is becoming like a standard or like baseline when it comes to EV range. 250 is like okay, and then 300 or more is good to, great to, almost fantastic. If you're looking at the Tesla Model S Plaid Plus or the Cybertruck, that's, supposedly supposed to have 500 plus miles of range, which is insane for an EV. Just as a comparison, the median range for a gas-powered vehicle is about 412 miles. If the Model S or the Cybertruck is coming with 500 miles of range, that's incredible. Now, the other reason why I was looking to upgrade to the Model Y was they had a refresh. You see, the Model Y was initially unveiled in March of 2019 and delivery started in March of 2020. Both the Model 3 and the Y share a large majority of the same parts, around 70% or so. And the Model Y got a refresh in 2021 that included a lot of changes that I was looking for. Before I get into some of the major changes, I just wanted to note that the Model Y did some things right from the beginning that was much better compared to the Model 3 in my opinion. For starters, Chrome delete. I don't know about you, but I don't really like Chrome at all. And the fact that the handles and a lot of the trim pieces on the Model 3 were Chrome did bother me, and I debated getting a Chrome delete for a long time. The Model Y came standard Chrome delete, and if you were a recipient of that, I know that you were probably much happier than I was. The other thing that the Model Y came with over the Model 3 was a heat pump. So a heat pump is a device that transfers heat energy from a thermal reservoir. It just basically means that the Model Y was more efficient for heating and cooling because of this mechanism that's built into the car. So that meant the Model Y was more efficient in colder climates, which tend to affect the range of vehicles all across the board, but especially for electric vehicles. Obviously, the Model Y is a bigger car. It also had a lot of other things when compared to the 3 in terms of just overall space. And it had other things such as like an automatic liftgate trunk that was very spacious compared to the Model 3. So right off the bat, I was just more attracted to the Y, and I couldn't have it at the time. That being said, the Y didn't do everything right. For example, I don't really like the standard wheels. I think they're ugly personally, and I would just opt for the induction wheels. That's what I did for my purchase, but hey, standard wheels are fine if you like them. I just personally don't. Now, the new 2021 Model Y came with some major improvements. Just to name a few, my long-range dual-motor Model Y came with 327 miles of range. It came with double pane windows, an external speaker, to allow for boombox mode. Because this is one of the newer Model Ys, does this have like those external speakers?
This does. This has these.
Wow.
The boombox.
No.
Wow. You could change the horn.
A heated steering wheel, a refreshed center console, which is, again, I was really looking for this refresh. I hated the piano gloss plastic area that was in the Model 3. It was a fingerprint magnet. And it just didn't feel that premium to me. And now it's been replaced by this, Alcantara phone charging mat and just a nicer storage compartment that I think is a much better improvement. The car also has other things. It's now USB-C. They moved the location of the flash drive for Tesla's dash cam storage. Now it's not. Now it's in the glove compartment, which can be locked via valet mode. So I think these are all welcomed improvements. Now, a lot of these features aren't unique to the Model Y. In fact, the Model 3 got most of these features in the recent 2021 refresh. But in my perspective, you have to think about it from me coming from a 2019 Model 3. Here I was, looking at the car that I originally wanted to buy, i.e. the Model Y, now refreshed with more features and an updated console that fixed a lot of the issues that I had with my Model 3. Now, for the third reason, and probably one of the more important reasons, is value. Tesla's value is one of those strange things on the internet. You can see the price point fluctuate depending on where you look, and even like third-party sites can't really seem to figure out what to price their Teslas for. For me, when I was selling my Model 3, I used Carvana, but before I used Carvana, I actually, used Tesla first just to see what they would quote me. Initially, I got offered $30,000 for my 2019 Tesla Model Y, and $30,000 wasn't terrible, but I thought maybe I could do better. And I tried Carvana, and Carvana offered a little over $33,000. The exact figure was $33,471. So it was a little bit more than Tesla was offering. But what was funny was a couple of weeks after Tesla's initial offer, I went back to go check it, and it went down to $27,000. So I went with Carvana when I sold my car. So for a car that I bought brand new in 2019 for about $40,000, $33,000 wasn't a bad price to get for that car. It was actually pretty good. But just recall, one of the reasons why I said I wanted to sell was because 250 miles is becoming the baseline when it comes to EVs. So I think the market, that's looking for an EV that's less than 250 miles, it's going to be shrinking more and more every year. So I think the sooner you can upgrade from a car that has less than 250 miles, the better. That's especially so when you're thinking about the range for some of these new EVs that are hitting the market. Selling the car right now while I can get $33,000 for it, and then using that money to buy the car that I actually wanted to buy the whole time, it didn't seem like a bad idea. And now that the car is newly refreshed with features that I was waiting for, it just sounded like a even better idea, and I don't regret my decision for a second. I even configured my Model Y with features. Like, for example, I put a tow hitch. Have I ever towed anything? Nope. But I added a tow hitch. Fun fact, if you add the tow hitch during configuration, it's $1,000. But if you try to do it after the fact, it's actually $1,600. So if you're like on the fence about the tow hitch and you're not sure, oh, do I need it? Do I not need it? It's a $600 premium if you want to do it after the fact. I don't think that's a deal breaker if you're into that. Or you want to tow things. For me, I just do it in there because why not? Maybe one day when I'm trying to get a U-Haul, this will be beneficial to me, so I just do it in. But yeah, I don't regret my Model Y purchase at all. I love the car. I've driven both the 3 and the Y, and I can say without a doubt, in my opinion, the Y is just a better experience. But what are your thoughts about all of this? What do you think of the Model Y and the Model 3? Leave any and all thoughts in the comments down below. Personally, I think the Model Y offers more utility, and that's kind of what I go for when it comes to these types of purchases. So for me, it was a no-brainer. But stylistically, I can see why some people would prefer the smaller Model 3, so let me know what you think. Again, my name is Chima, one half of the Asika Bros. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.